Just wanted to give you guys a market update. Today's January 23rd, 2026, and this is just focusing on the East Cobb market, but kind of rings true for this immediate area around here. Okay. So for all listings right now, the absorption rate is about 4.8 months. So there's almost 5 months of inventory. Remember, depending on who you talk to, a balanced market is usually 6 months of inventory. So not quite a buyer's market, but depending on the listing, it could be, right? The more important ratio is the listed depending ratio, which I track. I think is the best gauge, and that is 3.5 to 1. Now, what that means is for basically every four homes, one's getting a contract. So think back 2 years ago when this ratio was about 1 to 1, meaning as fast as the house came on the market, it was getting sold. Your listings have more competition than they have in the past. The second, over $1 million homes. This is mostly, higher end in East Cobb, Walton High School District, and in Pope and Lassiter, but they have 5.4 months of inventory, so a little more than all of the price points, which makes sense, right? And the listed depending ratio is 4.9, so let's just call it 5. So that means for every home that's listed over $1 million, it's competing with four others. So what does that mean? That means that preparation, right, is really important. Taking that time to get your house ready. Second, if you know, a pre-listing inspection. That would be a good thing to do to find out if there's any problems you don't know about, and make sure the inspector for the buyer doesn't find anything that that could be a deal breaker. And then lastly, getting your pricing locked in. Like a lot of people try aspirational pricing. Hey, let's just try to get X price, which might be 10% higher than it should be. You need to learn to resist that temptation because buyers are very in tune with the metrics and in pricing. And at the end of the day, they're the ones that determine pricing because they have the money to buy the home. So anyway, hope you guys get some takeaways out of that. If you have more questions about the market, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. All right, thanks guys.